was told to deliver this message. You think you're invincible because you got money, bombs, guns, and planes, killing babies, innocent people. I think you're insane. Chaos and destruction is the name of your game. Somebody's got to stop you before the whole world goes up in flames. So he told me to tell you, I'll fight
for my brothers. We can go to war. Fighting for my father, I will give my life for. I feel so alone in this white man's world. Whip it in the kitchen, watch that white turn pearl. Standing on the corner, standing on my phone. Standing with my gangsters, but I'm standing on my own. If you got to be his own, spend you like you be alone. Sacrifice my life, understanding each his own. Toast to the keys of success. Bel Air rose on my breath. I've been a student since '03, and we can fight till we see peace. I fight like that. 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 I fight like that.
Let me holler at you for a minute, give you game. Real scrappy, love about a Buddha bang. Trigger happy, and everybody in the game. You shot your family and didn't even know it. Same rules, same code, with a different slang. Struck him out and now they took him out the picture frame. Mama, don't cry, we gon' get by. 2 weeks later, got killed in a drive. Must we fight amongst each other? Reach one, each one, teach one, my brother. I teach them how to fight on the grass and in the class. Good dog, all stars, yes sir, they coming fast. He won, football, we won. Now round my brother, Snoop, yes sir, cause he won. As he fight on, we 100, keep it coming, just slip, slide on, slide on. I fight like that, 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 I fight like that.
Watching the warriors, the story of the rebels. You from the ghetto, then you know never to settle. I'm shooting common on the streets, I'm a pharaoh. Battling in African-American apparel. This on a t-shirt, youngins doing street work. Grinding till they teeth hurt, that's because they need work. Working till the feet hurt, trying to get my soul right. Used to be on old bikes, serving them that cold white. Wars in the winters, the block is hot in summers. Today's mathematics, we know it's stricter numbers. So the bosses and the runners, the hustlers and the stunners. We fight for the hundreds, we fight for the oneness.
He fights with the heat. He fights with the sleet. He said, I am who I am. I can't be beat. Nobody has won a war against me. All of the nations of the earth as we speak are angry. They're angry because governments cannot suffice the needs of their people. They're angry because a few have gotten wealthy at the expense of the many. And the poor and the sick and the weak and the unlearned multiply. and the value of their lives are diminished by the rich and the powerful, so that when human life is devalued, that in the eyes of man you are unworthy of the gift of life, then it is easy for another human being to take the life of another human being that he or she has devalued. Black life in America is devalued. Hispanic life is devalued. Even poor white life is devalued. There's a way that I have to behave. I'm free, but I'm not free to rob you of yours. I'm not free to take from you what does not belong to me. So if I will construct my life according to these righteous principles, then between man and man, man and woman, peace. Between race and race, peace. Between rich and poor, peace. We have our beautiful Mexican family. This once was theirs. So you can't say to them they are aliens. That's a horrible word to use for former owners. I see my indigenous family here. Many tribes, but they're really one great nation of people that now must be reunited with themselves. So it's their time now, as well as ours, that God would intervene in our affairs and bring the bottom rail to the top. The government is not rehabilitating soldiers. When they send you away to kill. When you come home, they gotta reconstitute you for civilian life again. Make sure you have a job so you can take care of your family, but they're not doing it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, a woman can do anything that a man does, and the only thing he forbids the woman to do is the thing that degrades her. So how high can you go? High as you want to. Why would God allow the female to wear his attributes if you can't be a manifestation of that attribute? Women, you got to be set free. What God has put within you must be cultivated, must be developed, and must be used for the advancement of a nation and a world. I said to myself, Mr. President, why the hell don't you go to the wicked police department? Why the hell don't you stand up and tell them that your killing of black youth and brown youth is not gonna hold no more? Why don't you stand up? God's word is in need of a truth that will set up a government where everybody can live in peace under real freedom real justice, and real equality.
Enjoy the journey, not the destination. A lot of us delay our happiness. When I get to this level, when I get my degree, when I get the kids, when I get married, I'm going to be happy. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the whole step, the whole process. Every day that you get up to strive for whatever it is you're after. You know, I'm a goal-oriented guy.
Yeah,
but you don't celebrate when you get to the finish line. Celebrate all along the way. Celebrate all along the way.
Yeah, man.
I know I put in him what it takes to withstand the pressure. Slap your neighbor and say, you don't know what you got. You don't know what you got until all hell breaks loose. You don't know what you can take until the pressure is applied to your life. You don't know what you can endure until people stab you in the back and walk away from you. You don't know how much courage you have until you've been under fire and under struggle and under tribulation. You can't learn what's in you sitting back in a lazy boy chair hitting the remote control, watching HBO and Cinemax. But when all hell breaks loose, that's when you get to see what you got. Touch your neighbor and say, I'm made of something. I didn't get to see the design. I didn't get to see the architectural plans, but I know I'm made of some good stuff. I can tell by the burdens I bear and the load I carry and the stuff I endure. I shock myself at what I'm able to take. It's not just that I shock my enemies, I shock myself. They said I was going to die, and I believed it. But through hell and high water, I'm still here. When I was in South Africa on a safari, I was blessed to be on a safari after I had taught for a group of Black billionaires a seminar about faith and finances. And they detained me over and gave me the privilege of staying out at J. Paul Getty's place out there in the middle of the jungle somewhere, and to go on a safari with my son. It was amazing. So there I am in between a zoologist who is giving me all of this information about all the animals, their habitats, their mating practices, how they live, how they operate, and sitting on the edge of the Jeep with a shotgun to protect us. We weren't hunting, we were just watching, was a Zulu. The Zulu says nothing at all. The zoologist explains all the animals, and we visit all the different places and see a lot of the animals, but we had not found the elephant. He explained the elephant, but he could not find it. Finally, the Zulu stood up and he put his finger in there and he pointed up. He said, the elephant is over there. When he said it to me, my head exploded, Larry. It exploded because all of a sudden I realized I'm sitting between intellect and instinct. Mm-hmm. Intellect can describe it, but only instinct can find it. And from the premise of that ideology, I begin to go back through all of my life and begin to see not only me, but others, how if they position themselves between intellect and instinct and know when to yield to which one, that next big thing, whether it's an elephant, an entrepreneurial pursuit, or raising a family, it is simply over there if you follow your instincts. So many times you have a modicum of talent in an area, maybe just enough talent to appreciate people who are really called to that area. It doesn't mean that you need to necessarily go out and do that thing. You must understand that the purpose is an underlying chemistry that makes you live your life. It may not be, you may not have a strong talent. Let me give an example because I'm messing mine up. Let me give you an example. I have talent as a musician. I can play the piano, not well enough to be maestro, but I have a modicum of talent in that area, but that was not my purpose. But many, many times we start working in an area that we have talent, but it's not our purpose. I tell my kids this, you may start out doing something that is not the thing you were created to do. It may only be the thing that leads to the thing you were created to do. You understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
So you can't Don't stop at where you are as if it were the destination, when in fact, in reality, it may be the transportation that brings you into that thing you were created to do. You have to own your own happiness. Take it away from other people demanding that they make you happy. Your kids are not going to make you happy. Your spouse is not going to make you happy. A big house is not going to make you happy. Own your own happiness and be responsible for doing those things that bring joy into your own heart, independently of life and people and money and all of that stuff. Right. It doesn't necessarily give you a happiness. You have to take responsibility of that peace and that joy that lives inside of your heart and not inside of your stuff. My challenge in our generation is that gradually, through entertainment, through television, through media, through every way possible, we are living in a generation of the dumbing down of ideas. Because we have traded effectiveness for busyness. Statistics say, yeah, somebody ought to clap on that. We are busier than any other generation we have seen in the last 300 to 400 years. We are so busy. We are busier than a one-arm wallpaper hanger. We're just busy. You'll get it later. Don't worry about it. It'll hit you in a minute. We are just as busy as we can be, and we think because we're busy, we're effective. But I want you to challenge your schedule for a minute and ask yourself, are you really being effective? Or is your life cluttered with all kinds of stuff that demands you and drains you and taxes you and stops you from being your highest and best self? And are you substituting busyness and all the chaos that goes along with busyness from being effective? Let me tell you, a bunch of scientists got together, they began to do some research, and they begin to determine that 80% of the things we do are busy things that we do in an area that is not effective. That the average person only spends 20% of their time doing the thing that they are really gifted at, created at, passionate about, excited to do. And the rest of it is all the dismal, dumb stuff that we all have to do in order to survive. Just crazy stuff that we're doing. Wonder what would happen if we would go from doing 80% of things that are busy but not effective and 20% of the things that are really effective if we would switch those numbers around and only give 20% of our time to the things that we have to do and 80% of our time to the thing that we were created to do. Wonder what would happen to your life. Now think about it a minute. There's a lot of things you could take from me and I could make it. You could take my suit, I got another one. You could take my car, I could get another one. You could take my house, I could get another house. But when you take my time, you have taken something from me that is totally irreplaceable. We take all kinds of classes for money management. We know how to manage our money. We know how to repair our houses. We're working on our hair and our bodies and all of this kind of stuff. We do everything except the most important thing is to value our time. It takes time to be creative. You were meant to be creative. You were created in the likeness and the image of a creator, and in that likeness and in that image, you have creativity. If you had time, you would be creative. But in the absence of time and with busyness and clutter and the phone went, you all got music playing on your phone, all kinds of stuff. And no matter what kind of song you put on it, after a while you hate to hear it, because every time you hear that sound, you know it's somebody else wanting something else from you that's taking you away from what you are gifted and created to do. The enemy does everything he can to tear down your belief system, to destroy your belief system. If you open up a business, if you open up a company, one of the things you have is vision, purpose, and goals. And you write them down so all of your staff and all of your team and all your customers can know, this is who I am. I am defined by my vision, my purpose, and my goals. That's my playbook. That's my creed. That's what I believe as a company, as an institution. I never will forget several years ago, I toured Nike. And if you ever get a chance to go up there and tour Nike, it's absolutely amazing. I could not find an employee in all of Nike that wasn't quick to tell me who they were. They never talked about who they were individually. They talked about who they were corporately. They knew their history. They knew their background. They knew who they were as a company. A philosophy had so permeated the organization that even the janitors would stop and tell you the philosophy of Nike. You see the reason that's important. If you know who you are, then you know who you are not. If you don't know who you are, somebody can ascribe any identity onto you and you will morph into whatever they want you to be. And that's what has happened with a whole lot of us. Some of us have been 10 or 12 different people depending upon who we were with because we don't know who we are. We become whoever they want us to be. And then when they leave us, we are confused because we have no real understanding of who we are. You say, well, I thought you were talking about believing in God. I'm talking about believing in God, but I'm also talking about believing in yourself. Paul says, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. Before he brings up Christ, he brings up him. We're so amazed that he believes in God that we overlook the fact that he believes in himself. I can do all things. Somebody say, I can do all things. Oh my God, just stop right there. Say it again, I can do all things. Wouldn't it be amazing if you believe that? Wouldn't you sleep good tonight if you believe that? Wouldn't you walk around with your head up and your back straight if you believe that? Say it again, I can do all things. You wouldn't be intimidated by anybody, anywhere, at any time if you just believe that. Say it again, I can do all things. Can you imagine how different your job interview would go if you really believed that and walked in, they said, what do you do? I can do. Imagine if you were taught that from the time you were born into the world. The first thing your mama told you when they spanked you on the behind is don't worry about it, baby. You can do all things.
Because people think I often, well, that's for those people over there, or when I get myself together, I'm gonna live on purpose.
Right.
But you say it is possible wherever you are right now, Facebook, anywhere in the world watching us, that even if you're in the middle of a disaster,
Right.
you can use that disaster for direction.
Absolutely, because it is through the disaster, it is through the adversity that our strength is developed. If everything went the way you wanted it to go, you wouldn't have anything to exercise by. It's a gymnasium of life where you get to work out the resistance. You find out things about yourself that you didn't know. I'm stronger than I thought I was. I'm tougher than what I thought I was. I'm more resilient than I thought I was. And that self-respect stops you from being at the mercy of other people to validate you, to make you feel good about who you are.
What is something you suggest to add to our daily routine to empower ourselves?
Quiet. We're too busy. We are so busy that we don't notice that we're not productive. Busy does not mean that you are producing. We are just spinning our wheels. And the great thinking and progress that we've made in this country, steam engines, telephones, automobiles, all types of things, spacecraft, were done by people who had moments to think. We're moving so fast at breakneck speed. And if we get a free moment, we're on Twitter and Facebook and everything. It's the death of creativity. And I would challenge people to go back to meditation. And if you're spiritual, go back to prayer. If you're not, just go back to just laying still for a moment to clear your head, to hit the reset button. Because we are starting every day with the burdens from yesterday assaulting us in today. Let's put a comma between all of that.
I read somewhere, as an actor, I think, said it, that once a week, he doesn't talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Doesn't talk all day.
Yeah, just peace.
Yeah.
Yeah, just peace. Shut it all down, and you'd be surprised what you can hear when you shut up. I came to deliver a message to every person in this room who's had a struggle, who's had some pains, who's had some tests, who's got some creative ideas, but you've gone through some really tough stuff. Let me tell you something. The stuff you've been through, don't pay it any attention. It is just a sign that the baby is coming. You're on the verge of birthing. You're on the verge of birthing. You're on the verge of birthing. You're about to give birth. I want you to touch everybody you can reach and tell them the baby is coming. 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 You don't want to leave me now. The baby is coming. You don't want to walk out on me now. The baby is coming. I haven't had my best idea yet. I haven't had my most creative moment yet. I haven't produced my dream yet. I don't care whether you're 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. There's something down inside of you that's still kicking inside of you that wants to get out, and it wants to live. It wants to live. The whole reason you're here today is because there's something in you that needs to be fed, that needs to be stirred, that needs to be electrified, that needs to be illuminated. There's something down inside of you crying, let me out! Let me out! Make some noise in this place! Yes, yes, yes! We are waiting on your water to break and for you to give birth to the greatest idea you have ever had. Make some noise in this place. Anybody who left you is going to miss it. They're going to miss it. They're going to miss the greatest part of you, the greatest part of your destiny, the greatest part of your creativity. It took everything you went through yesterday to get you ready for what you are about to do today. You are standing on the verge of a great awakening, or you wouldn't be here. If I'm talking to you, make some noise in this place. Can't hear you. I believe there are businesses in you, companies in you, concepts in you, books to be written, paintings to be drawn, concepts to be birthed, ideas, creative concepts. There's something that you could do, that you could think in your life that would radically change your life. Somebody could take the hand you've been dealt and win with it. Same circumstances, same ideas. They would do it through what they thought about your life. But we don't need somebody, because we got you. We got you. You're the one. You are the one. I want you to join hands with somebody for just a minute. I'm telling you right now, if you are going to birth your dream, your calling, your passion, and the second half of your life, you can't draw back when life gets tough. You've got to stand up to it and push. Get that person by the hand, because there's something inside of them that is about to happen. Squeeze their hand. And when I count to 3, I want every man and every woman that's got a concept, that's got an idea, I want you to push with all of your might until dreams and concepts and ideas start to birth out of you in the middle of the night. You're going to need pens and pads by your bed tonight, because you're going to have to get up in the middle of the night and start writing down all the stuff that's going to start coming out of your spirit when this day is ready. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. If you push it, you can have it. God bless you. It's yours for the taking.
Ooh, ready for revolution. It is yours for the taking. Good gracious. Y'all make some noise out here in the world of student or classes in session. Good gosh. Woo, boy. Boy, oh boy. Morning, family. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday here in classes in session. Morning. It was absolute fire. You're absolutely right, Sister Victoria Dean in the house. Woo woo! My goodness. My goodness. I saw Brother Vincent Muhammad say, Jake's had him standing on the table, man. You don't know the half. Woo, boy, oh boy. Debbie Nixon, Professor McKay, how we doing? That's right. If you push it, you can have it. Man. Oh, family. Woo, what a rush. What a rush. There's another portion of that we're going to share before we close out. It's a small portion. Hey, Sister Trina Purdue James. It's a small portion. It's about, I don't know how many minutes, maybe it's less than 7, but there's something else just as profound along with that clip, because I really believe it's speaking to somebody out here today. I know it caught all of us. I can see the fire on the stream, but man, we are working on something, folks. We all just need to continue to grab these cyber hands, squeeze real tight, and on the count of 3, we just need to push, doggone it. Lord. Whew. Morning, everybody. I know we say class is in session, but I think class is over. I'm about to jump. Woo! Lakeisha McKnight, I need to bring you on the stream unless you do your thing from right here. Oh my goodness. Wow, I really can't pull myself together, folks. This thing was amazingly fire. Wow. You know, I don't know if I'm vain or not, but I really believe y'all need to share this stream everywhere you can. When this day is over, you share it out everywhere, anybody you can. I mean, that's just my personal belief, you know, and I hope it's not vanity, but I got so much from that. Oh my goodness. Whew. Man. Oh boy. Get it together, brother. Whew. All right. I'm getting there. Yeah, Sister Debbie, it was a mic drop for real. You know, and after last night, oh my goodness, Sister Valerie Best brought the house down. Oh man, she brought the house down. That freedom call last night, everybody needs to get back to that. And, you know, ooh. Whew. Well, what a class. Thank you, everybody. God bless and good day. I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to get back up. Okay. All right. We got some things to get through. We're going to come back to that point that I wanted to make with Bishop T.D. Jakes. And I want us to go through the housekeeping rules and get through our takeaways from that fabulous testimony, as well as some things that also took place. So, be the dream chaser. Live the manifesto. That's what we're going to be talking about today. And if you're not familiar, there's a book out called The Dream Chaser Manifesto, written by that illustrious other half of the Best team, CEO, Mr. Tyrone Best. And he'll be with us on Saturday morning, 8 a.m., classes in session. You see the prompt down there at the bottom of your screen. He will be with us Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Eastern time. A special classes in session. His subject matter will be closing the wealth gap. There's a gap out here, folks, needless to say. And we have the tools by which to do it. And it all begins with the culture. The Dream Chaser Manifesto is a dreamer's guide through a jungle of non-dreamers. And if you look to the goals that are in this maze, this run to freedom, these are all goals and ambitions that are found in the chapters of Mr. Best's book to us. Beware the dream stealers, commit to the work, focus on that dream, get a dream, goals, vision, and purpose. And Mr. Jake said, embrace the journey, finding your why. We're going to delve into a little bit of that. But first, let's keep mindful of our housekeeping notes. Everyone, please invite at least 5 people. Everybody on this stream, everyone that sees this stream, we want to bust this system wide open. We're showing our love and appreciation and respect for not just the legacy of a man who's been free for a quarter of a century from corporate America, but the wisdom by which was gained through that experience. He's trying to pour into us, and we should be that sponge ready to receive all the moisture that we can. So please invite at least 5 people, everyone. Close the Wealth Gap with Mr. Ty Best. It's an exclusive, special classes in session. Tell everyone, do not miss this live broadcast. It's right here, Eric Ray Muhammad Facebook page. It's Saturday, June 27th at 8 a.m. Eastern. Man, I'm still trying to get over that. Woo. That was something. Let me cough off the screen and go through these announcements, because brother got to pull it together for real. Okay. So please, by all means, make sure that we have ourselves in the house. It'll be again Saturday, 8 a.m., June 27th. A live broadcast, special classes in session. And of course, we pay ourselves first, don't we? We absolutely, man, Mrs. Best brought that thing home last night, didn't she? Yeah, we get this, we get that, we get this, but not at the expense of paying ourselves first. That makes everything else possible. You want your generations to thank you later. You want to live on, you know, the power of ancestry. You know, we talk about ancestors, right? Ancestors are those people, those beings, those God, that of God creation, that are no longer on this plane with us, but they're always remembered as long as we remember them, you know, and we pull and draw on the power and the wisdom of the ancestor, because what they have can never be used again by them on another on this other plane. However, it is left amongst us as the essence of life. So when you're made to call on Big Mama and them, you're made to remember something. That's the ancestral antidote to a solution to your problems. That's why I appreciate so much of the commentary when I watch the siblings go back and forth with each other. Hey, older, shorter. Hey, younger, taller. Yeah, those 2 sisters. You know, and I love when Sister Maui draws on the experiences from her mother, and she shares them here. Those are shared, but they don't fall on deaf ears. They are shared, and they fall on those who are meant to receive, because the power of ancestry is offering guidance in this world to get beyond this world. And when that happens, you know, it resonates. When you're made to call on a loved one, you're made to call on someone who's no longer with us, you're called on them because the universe is compelling you or someone else to receive an instruction that will guide them, possibly warn them, possibly steer them from a direction or move them toward a direction. Nothing in life is ever wasted. That's why the Holy Quran says, they may appear dead, but do not speak of them as dead. They live, but you perceive not. You know, so, you know, it's something. So your generations, you want to be remembered. You want to be remembered. You want to be remembered for setting a legacy that allows you to live forever. Think about the stars. Use this example. The stars in heaven. We look up in the heavens and we see stars that are literally billions and trillions of light years away. And they have already died trillions of years ago. But they are sending a light back to you to justify their presence in the world. That's how we must be. So we pay ourselves first, because a 1/10 of a gram saved every day creates a legacy free from want and lack for future generations. You heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan's message at the beginning of this program. He is live with To the World Saturday, July 4th, NOI.org, 8 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern, and 4 p.m. in the afternoon in the UK and the west portions of Africa. Blessed is he who set down the discrimination upon his servant, that he might be a warner to the nations. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, July 4th. Also, the birth date of Danny J. James. Anyway, NOI.org, y'all, July 4th. And you know, we got it all going on today. We're on so much fire from the beginning of the week, let alone what happened last night. Now, if you missed the huddle, you need to go back to it. The huddle was at 7:45 p.m. An amazing call. I thought about you, Trina Purdue James, but I didn't want to interrupt you if you were already on the line. But you need to get back to the huddle. I'll have it posted on a YouTube channel later this morning. But you need to get back to the huddle if you didn't see it and learn about the tenets of an active K merchant system. That means that you have the power now as a vendor to accept payment in cryptocurrency in real time. And you get 100% of your revenue and 0% in fees. Check out the huddle that aired yesterday on goldrocks.info. But you can find it replayed in many spaces, but you'll definitely find it on the Eric Teray Muhammad YouTube channel a little ways after this presentation this morning. So 10:45 a.m., we have the mighty power call, Eastern Standard Time. Mr. Gold Collector himself is bringing the noise. Mr. Dante Taylor will be in the house. You want to be there, folks, 10:45 a.m. And then at 12 noon is our, can't even get myself together. That TD Jakes, man. 12 noon is our wealth building presentation. That'll happen at 12 noon today and at 9 p.m. tonight. And tonight is rocked by the professor who's in the house, Mr. Gregory McKay, all the way from Lansing, Michigan. He's the one that helped me in the last words I spoke to the plantation when I fired the boss. I told them, look at it this way. There's freedom in the exchange. And I walked out happier than a woo. Anyway, Professor Gregory McKay is with us tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern. www.goldrocks.info. And then at 10 p.m. Eastern, we have the Empower Call with Lucian the Solution Minton, Dr. Patrice, and Sister Lady Lisa Gordon, and the first affiliate of Carabaos International in North America, Mrs. Cheryl Ann Gober. They will be hosting the mighty Empower Call. Okay. Tuesday evenings at 6 p.m. represents the 90-day run to wealth. Y'all need to go ahead and join it. We have it wide open for everyone. We have study guides coming. We have study guides coming to wealth building. They'll be made available to each and every one of you. And you need to go ahead and join on and be a part of a revolutionary change inside your own life and inside your household. Wow, TD Jakes. Boy, we got some notes. All right. So text your full name, email address, and the message 90 to 404-246-5708. Also, subscribe to the Eric Teray Muhammad YouTube channel. It's free. And then if you're so inclined, send a Cash App donation of $2 US. You can send it to Cash App, to $Eric Teray, not $E Teray, or via PayPal at paypal.me/Eric Teray. These help me put out and produce the materials that we have for everyone. And, you know, the YouTube channel, subscribing to the YouTube channel, it sends instant notification of things that might pop up that are not a part of our platform. They're things that you might expressly need. So when you subscribe to it, it automatically provides a notification aspect where you can really see what's coming down the pipe. Okay, now, be the dream chaser. Live the manifesto. What is a manifesto? A manifesto is, okay. A manifesto is a declaration or a statement, okay? And it's had a negative connotation in the last few years, particularly of the 20th century, and it's still some remnants of it because of what was happening in the 20th century. Do you know that 20th century represented the bloodiest recorded existence in the world? It represents the absolute bloodiest. More killing, more mayhem, more wars occurred within the 20th century than any other recorded time in the existence of the earth. Now that's saying a lot when you think about the fact that the oldest recollection of recorded of the earth goes back to the Genesis. All right. And then to know that the 20th century, where many of us were born in, was the absolute bloodiest, the most savage, the most war infested in the history of the existence of a recorded earth. That's wild. So the manifesto was birthed out of the desires of freedom. So you had Francis Scott Key. He gave you an anthem, right? You had Paul Revere. You had Ben Franklin. You had Thomas Jefferson. Everyone had some form of treatise or issuance of declaration or statement that defined who and what and where they were, and it was dealt with from the perspective of the issuer to dedicate others to that dream or resolution. Then manifestos took on another form. The manifestos after the Declaration of Independence, you found people born in that known as patriots. And as the turn of social, economic, political events happened in that century, then you found people taking matters into their own hands to force and address another way. So you had the so-called patriots or zealots who took portions of what they deemed pure of Constitution, and they decided to act on other things. So you had a Timothy McVeigh killing hundreds of people, bombing a daycare center, the Oklahoma City bombing. He had a manifesto. You had the Unabomber. He had a manifesto. You had all these people who had a notion or desire to affect change in the most violent of ways because they were reared violently. They came up in the blood sport of life. And as a result, they wanted to make their statement heard because they felt that's the only way they would be heard. So a manifesto had a lot of negative connotations, a lot of endangering relations to its existence in that century. We're in a new day, a new world. We don't have to rely on the violence. T.D. Jakes made a mention about reset. That was his 9th point, I believe. To reset, to meditate, to be still, to be silent, and allow the creativity to flow. Because if you do not, you literally create the death or the pattern of death of creativity. So everybody's been brought still. The world is never to be the same again. You know, pandemic is here. All right. Economy bust is here. Errant leadership is all over the map. People are losing their minds out here. There were warnings. Do not go out without protecting yourself. Do not tempt fate. Have your masks, have your gloves, stay in home, shelter in place. Do not go back to doing business as usual. These are warnings from an ark. What happened? Georgia, it was announced last night, has the highest rate of increase in deaths from COVID-19, 3.97%. Florida's right behind it. South Carolina is next. And then there's others along the panhandle. I can't remember the other state that was involved. And there's a Midwestern state. Here's the point. The Memorial Day weekend, everybody decided they would go back to business as usual. They opened up their resorts. They opened up their restaurants. They had parties and all kinds of events. And where they said, oh, it's okay. We came home. We're not sick. And then inside of a week and a half, there was a steady increase, a spiking of viruses related to the pandemic in those particular resort areas and states. Disneyland or Disney World, whichever one it's called, the one in Florida just announced they're rethinking what they're talking about, and they're remaining shut down. You know, you want to keep America great, you can do it, but it's the greatest candidate for ruin right now. And if that's what you want to go back to, you help yourself. But we're on the ark. I want everyone. Hey, Sister Stacy, I want everyone to be mindful of not tempting fate. So the manifesto, we live a creed, we live a statement and a declaration, a desire to be free. And as a result, it's communicated so that others can embrace it, and embrace it with the strategies and the stratagems that we implement that keeps everybody safe, secure, and comfortable, particularly in their own homes. So the Dream Chaser Manifesto is written by this man. It's written by Mr. Tyrone Best. Now, Mr. Tyrone Ty Best, I'm going to read this to you. In the networking world, Mr. Ty Best is a world-renowned leader, speaker, and trainer, an author of 4 books, and a member and inductee of the International Network Marketing Hall of Fame. Mr. Best has been a free man from corporate America for a quarter of a century. He, along with his wife, Mrs. Valerie Best, have developed a unique culture boasting of more than 100,000 people, known as Wealth Builders Worldwide, or WBW, a group of independent affiliates of Caribars International. You want to know more about Caribars International? You want to know more about what we represent? I urge you to look at the screen there at the bottom between Mr. Best and the WBW logo. www.therealmoney.info gives us the opportunity that we enjoy and will help you, guide you into the same moment. Gold is money and we know it. Gold is money and we have it. The economy is failing, ours is not. It's point simple. We've learned, as Mrs. Best said last night, we've learned to dig our wells before we needed the water. Just like we're building an ark on dry land, they don't see the flood coming. So look, family, go to therealmoney.info, learn all that you can about the opportunity, and then get back to the one who introduced it to you so we can get you started. Now, what is the Dream Chaser Manifesto? It's a guide to how to develop and dream and live it. It's designed to engage your mind to change your world. You learn how to discover the most wonderful vision for your life, and then you will learn how to make it happen. Very, very, very powerful tool. It's one of the easiest reads to be found. And you can find the book right now if you go to shop.mywbw.net, shop.mywbw.net, and get your copy of the Dream Chaser Manifesto. And I get them often. Each week now, I've been made to get them and make sure I get them out to our teams and get them out as gifts to some people. There are people who aren't even on the Wealth Builders platform. They're not even in Caribars. But I see their grind for life, and I see their desire for different. And because it's there, I want to feed it. So Mr. Best always teaches us that when you see fire, pour gasoline on it. When people have a burning desire to be free, tune in and pour that gas. Give them the acceleration they absolutely need. I don't know what's message or whose message is going to reach an individual. That's why I strive in each of these sessions to give us something from someone else, because I'm no fool. I know it didn't come from me. Scripture says it best. There's nothing new under the sun. It's all been here. So it's just a matter of who's willing to receive it. So I receive and I pass. I follow the strategy of the wealth builder, which is to peak interest and pass. Peak and pass, peak and pass. That's what I do. So I share, and we're just in a time of manifestation. And if we pay attention to that time, we will absolutely understand the freedom that we're looking for, that we hope for. We will. Okay, let's go through some of these notes. I'm going to then give us that moment from TD Jakes. I want to thank y'all for indulging me and allowing me to share that, because, man, hey, Sister Trish Mitchell, this session was fire. And all I can urge you to do is replay, replay, replay. Well, not all, and share. And share. You definitely want to share it with others. It was just that powerful to me. To me. Okay. Um, some of you made some of these same notes, I'm sure. You don't know what you are made of until hell breaks loose. And you're not going to know what you're made of sitting on a lazy boy, he said, with your remote control. I'm talking about TD Jakes. You're not going to know what you're made of until hell breaks loose. Hell don't break loose until you step out on your dream. Hell doesn't break loose until you realize that you are like a nomad or on an island by yourself. It's only like now. It's an semblance, because inside your home, everybody might not be on the same page. At your job or in your schools, everybody might not be on the same page. There's something very unique and very special about the mission you're being guided to, but you don't know it until you get started, and you don't know what you don't know until you get started. All right. Own your happiness. I saw a lot of people chime in on that one. Don't be busy and not effective. Most of the world, Mr. Jake said, 80% of the time we're busy, but 20% of the time we're, 20% of the time we're busy, and 80% of the time we're not effective in all our busy. So we should strive to flip those numbers. Be busy 20% of your time, but be effective 80% of your time. How is that possible? Plugging in. Tuning into the like minds, getting all the tools, as Sister Trina says, getting all the tools, because they are your friend. Embrace the manifesto, embrace the CDs, embrace the power calls, embrace the freedom calls, embrace the empower calls, embrace the live presentations, embrace all that we do in this wonderful opportunity, because it's all designed to help you help others help themselves. That's where our success is. Enjoy the journey, endure, follow your instincts, find your purpose. I found it interesting what he shared about his safari. He was on John Paul Getty's African landmass doing a safari with his son. I'm talking about TD Jakes. And he cited the difference between intelligence and instinct, and showed how the zoologist had all this working knowledge of what was going on, what the makeup was of the composition, what the do's and don'ts are of animals, but he couldn't find an elephant. And the brother who was the guide, the Zulu warrior, sitting there with his rifle, he's sitting on the edge of the Jeep, and he just says in a calm voice, "The elephant is up there." Instinct overrode it. It was an interesting point. Find your purpose, value your time, believe in yourself. Woo! Vision, purpose, and goals. That's us all the way through. And he made special note of the Nike philosophy, which lends to the greater point that we've made day to day here, that you need a philosophy, not so much an income. See, you base your income on your philosophy, on your dream. You don't base the income on what you see others earning, what you think you need, because what you're basing it on is a declining piece of paper that has no value unless it's the value you give it. And without labor, be able to store labor and able to store your personal value, it is impossible to give you the income you're desirous of. But when you place yourself in something, in an instrument that has the ability to store your value and store your labor, even the sweat equity, it's labor, that's known as an asset. And we have gold, and that is our asset. Believe in yourself. Embrace the philosophy. If you know who you are, you know who you are not. Turn disaster into direction. Resistance, I love this one. Resistance is the gymnasium of life. That's your workout room. That's where you pump it up, right? And you get fit through the resistance. Why? Because the resistance builds your strength. You challenge the resistance, and your weakness now becomes your strength. You break muscles down to build muscles up. The muscle of the mind. What are the equipments in the gymnasium of resistance? Your books, your tools, your CDs, you're plugging in. These are your tools. These are your equipment. You arm and exercise your mind. Okay. And of course, I already addressed hitting the reset button. We know where it's at. I know there's so many other comments that can be shared and explored, but I was so messed up over this stream. I'm telling you, if you don't mind, I am going to go back and share that portion with you that I mentioned from Mr. Jakes. And it's a brief portion, but I want to share it here. And then we'll close it out. Give me a moment to find it.
Not only me, but others.
Give me 1 second, family. 1 second. Thank y'all so much for your time. This is a little extended, but couldn't help myself. All right, here we go.
If you're looking for me, I'm not up there.
What happened to it? I'm sorry. Give me 1 second more. I lost it just that quick.
See you soon.
If you're looking for leadership, you don't always have to look to the front to find it. Great leadership doesn't start out on the stage. It doesn't start out as governors or mayors or presidents or CEOs or managers. Great leadership starts out in the back. Leadership starts in the pews. If you're in a church, it starts in the pews. If you're in a business, it starts down in the janitorial booths. It starts with menial things. That's why the Bible said, despise not the day of small beginnings. You have to understand, though, and I want you to get this in your mind and in your heart, and most of all in your head about leadership. When you begin to grapple with leadership and life begins to move you along, career, opportunities, or I believe the presence of the Holy Spirit begins to move you along, because promotion really doesn't come from the east or the west, it really does come from God. It is possible for life to lead you faster than your mind is prepared to handle. God can move you into such a place that positionally you are in a state of leadership, but mentally and emotionally you really haven't got a grip on what life has handed you. And if you don't know what you have, you don't know how to take care of it. If you don't know how to take care of it, you can mess around and lose it. The truth of the matter is, leaders come from ordinary places. They deal with ordinary issues. And I'm going to share some things with you that I think are very, very helpful for you to realize. First of all, I want you to understand that when you're saying to yourself that you want to be a great leader and you want to really go the extra mile and you want to do what has to be done, you're asking for trouble. You are absolutely asking for trouble. You're asking for trouble. And if you think about this a minute, you'll learn a very important concept that I think you need to understand. In the corporate world, in the business world, they actually pay you more money as you move up the ladder with more responsibility. Okay? So if you are a superintendent, you might not make as much as a general manager. A general manager might not make as much as a regional manager. A CEO would make more than a regional manager. Let me tell you something. They're paying you for conflict. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's not enough to have the degrees. What they're paying you for is your ability to manage conflict and pressure and struggles. You have to fix the mind before you can bestow the blessing, because until they get their mind right, everything you invest in them is going to leak out of the crevices of a mind that refuses to change. Look at your neighbor and ask them, do you have a mind to change? Wait for an answer. If they say no, drag them to the altar. Tell them they got till midnight to get that fix. They got till midnight to dump out all jealousy, all pettiness, all unforgiveness, all strife, all malice, all confusion, all blaming other people for your mistake. You got till midnight to get rid of every poison that's hindering you, every inflexibility that's stopping you from what God is about to pour into your life. Woe be unto you if you go into another year and waste another year with the old mentality while somebody's in the hospital begging God for the opportunity that you have right now. You better step into this moment. Lay your hands on your head and say, give me a new mind. Give me a new mind means give me a new perspective. Give me a new perspective. Give me a new way of looking at my situation. Give me a new way of looking at my circumstances. Get my mind ready for this year, because when I get this year, there's going to be blessings. There's going to be miracles. There's going to be opportunities. Oh, yes, there's going to be some struggles. It's going to be some challenges. It's going to be some tests. But even the struggles are an opportunity for me to show off the victory if my mind can handle the change. You got what it takes. Storms come, winds blow, lightning flashes. Things aren't fair. Things are upsetting. They're nerve-wracking. But the very fact that he allowed it to happen, seeing as he is the architect, it is a sign that he's looked at the specs. He knows what he put in you. He knows his grace is sufficient to get you through this moment in your life. And somebody, I'm about to feel like preaching now. Somebody in this room knows you've been through some stuff that if anybody would have told you that you had to deal with that, you'd have said, ain't no way I can handle it. But every time you got ready to give up, there was something on the inside that kept telling you, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. If you're in here today, slap your neighbor and say, I'm still here. I've been tried, but I'm still here. I've been burdened, but I'm still here. I've been lonely, but I'm still here. I've been frustrated, but I'm still here. I cried, but I'm still here. Somebody help me praise. Hallelujah. 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 High five your neighbor and say, you got what it takes. You won't make it out of this storm. You will survive this attack. You will get through this stage in your life. You have got. Hallelujah. 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 I don't know who I'm preaching to, but I know I'm preaching to somebody. The devil's been telling you you're at your breaking point, but the devil is not your architect. He don't know what God put inside of you. Yeah! Yeah! Y'all better come get me out!
Yes, yes, yes. I had to share it. Thank you, family. I'm sorry. Yes, yes, yes. I had to share it. Thank you, family. Thank you so much. Thank you for the opportunity to be here with you this morning. Hey, Brother Consul Hotep Atom. We'll be rocking over to you in a minute as well. Family, peace and power. Enjoy your day. And please be mindful of the events that are coming up in this great opportunity we know as Wealth Builders Worldwide. And please do not forget that on the 27th of this month, we'll be blessed with the presence on this platform, 8 a.m. with Mr. Tyrone Best. So you want to be here, you want to be a part of it, you want to share with everybody, and you want to carry out the assignment. The assignment is to tell at least 5 people, invite at least 5 people to the class in session 8 a.m. Saturday, this Saturday at 8 a.m. That's June 27th. And that's right, Sister Victoria. Just like he says, we are all still here. Hey, Sister Debbie Shaw. Family, I want to thank y'all. We're going to make our moves to get to the remainder of Mr. Keisha McKnight. And then Kansu, we coming to you, bro. And then we move on to 1045, Mr. Gold Collector himself, Dante Taylor, 1045 Eastern, the Power Call. Peace and power, family. I will see us all on the other side of money, because that's how we do. Forward.
Peace, strong words, love, soul, and change. Yeah, it's Big Snoop Dogg coming at you live and direct. And I got something to say. You did?
Let's change the world. It's divided. We come but united within. Let's change the world. No fights, no war. No, let's learn to begin. Let's change the world. 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 Let's make hope for the future.
Brother, what will you discover if we come together and do it like we never? I'm just sick and tired. I'm fit to light the fire. Now put this on the wire. The devil is a liar. I do this with no hesitation. Meet me at the reservation. Elevating, educating, meditating, concentrating. Replenish ya, finish ya, opposite of sinister. And I do it for the minister.
Change the world is divided. We come and united. Let's change the world. No fight, no war. Let's learn to begin. Let's change the world. 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 Let's make hope for the future.
Somebody need to stop the war. Man born overseas, it's at your front door. And I done seen too many brothers shot up on the floor for more than drugs and some co-laws. And now you call us warlords. But if you can help it, then help it. But you ain't helping us. You so selfish and selfish. You wanna see us breathless and helpless. But I'ma hustle and tussle for all my brothers who struggle. Yeah, we bang the world. Now let's change the world.
Let's change the world. It's divided. We come and united. Let's change the world. No fights, no war. Let's learn to begin. Let's change the world. 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 Let's make hope for the future.
No killing, no shooting, no dying, no lying, no gang banging, so no more mamas crying. Everybody get along, man, that be the perfect song. Peace in the streets as I sit back on my phone, chilling with the president. He let me in the White House, back to the castle with the minister. No doubt, shoes at the front door. Love is what you come for. Let's get it right, unite, but do it fine.
Let's change the world. Divided, we come and united. Let's change the world. No fights, no war. Let's learn to begin. Let's change the world. 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 Let's make hope for the future.